What's going on, you two folks out there, Facebook friends? My name is Adamir, and this is the Hard Black Truth. So I'm gonna make this video throwing my 2 cents on the whole Black Panther thing. And what I'm speaking out about specifically is the teaser trailer that came out. And my initial thoughts on it is, well, my initial thoughts on it, honestly, when I first saw it, was cool. It's finally here. Looks like you got a few stars in there. And there were a few things that I willingly ignored. The one thing that stood out to me and that I cringed on was seeing that person with the plate in their lip. That right there kind of threw me off, but I didn't complain about much else. Wasn't until other folks began to point out the things in that 1.5 minute teaser trailer that I realized that the commercial itself, the trailer itself, may not have necessarily been created for the viewing pleasure of black people as much as it was for dominant society. Sure, it had the cool little, you could argue hip-hop based theme music playing at the end while it outlined the word Black Panther, Black Panther, excuse me. But I realized that what you saw in that teaser trailer was stereotype after stereotype after stereotype. And the plate-lip man emphasized that more so than anything, because when folks think about Africa, some of us do harken back to our memory of the tribes where the women put those plates in their lips. And truth be told, that information we get from National Geographic or Time Magazine or something like that. It's not something that you find Africans constantly boasting about. Every time you turn on something dealing with Africa, you don't come across that. These are images that were captured and put out there by dominant society. And they made sure to put that in a movie and have it adorned by a man who was dressed up as a pimp, more or less, as though it was supposed to be a cool thing. And a lot of black folks are out there upset because there are folks like myself pointing this out, because they wanted to be able to enjoy this movie without having to see the bullshit that's being fed to them. And to that, I have to say, shame on you. This is a movie about a fictional character that was created by white folks. This isn't something that was created by black individuals. And this is why when it comes to things like this, I always harken back to the idea that we need to own and control our own. Because if what's being fed to us as African ultimately is owned and controlled by non-blacks, this is the shit that you're gonna end up with. And many of us want so bad to see this movie become a success, but at what cost? Now, mind you, this is what we saw in a minute and a half. I still intend on watching the movie. More needs to come out. And ultimately, once the movie releases, we will ultimately find out then if the movie was just full of trash. Was it entertaining? We'll find out its true purpose. But right now, its true purpose seems to be merely for the entertainment of the dominant society. They figure they will have this Black Panther character as though they're throwing a bone at African Americans But at the same time, they're feeding into all of the stereotypes and bullshit that is Africa. You're talking about what's supposed to be one of the most technologically advanced nations in a fictional storyline, and all we got to see during this teaser trailer was witch doctors, faces painted up, tribal masks. Like you had what looked like assassins or the king's bodyguards running around with tribal masks on. Like, what was the purpose of that, other than to reflect what somebody's idea of Africa means to them? The guy with the plate lip, that was just an eyesore. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't find women in America or men in America putting those things in their lips. You don't really find folks in modern Africa. When I say modern Africa, I'm talking about folks that go out there and thrive in these cities, in these communities that do trade on a global scale. That's not something that you see modern individuals doing. Yes, certain tribes where they're out there in the bush, where they're out there living on their own, you know, they might practice that. But that's way out there. You know, they actually believe that a sign of beauty. Okay, but I don't see any white folks or black folks here in the States or abroad lining up to put those giant plates in their lips. And I'm not trying to be offensive to any culture or anything like that, but as far as I'm concerned, that shit is ugly. I would want no parts of that. If I had daughters, I would want no parts of that for them. So you guys got to pay attention when somebody gives you something as a backhanded compliment. More remains to be seen, and we will see more. But you guys got to get out of your emotions with it and pay attention to the bullshit that's taking place right in front of your very eyes. I want to see the movie just like everyone else. But trust me, you can't allow a starry-eyed film to obscure your vision on what's actually taking place. So those are my thoughts on that. You guys have a good one. This is your boy Lungyao One here. Peace.